So in this video, I am going to show you how to complete challenge number 1, which is to animate a puppy. So you're going to notice 3 things about this animation here. Well, 4. 1 is the puppy's tail is wagging, so that's one animation. 2, the puppy's eyes are blinking, that's a second animation. 3, the flower is wilting, so that's the third animation, and then you are going to add a background, okay? So you're going to start out by opening the app that we use, which is called Piskel app. You can click on this link right here, and then you're going to click Create Sprite, and that will open up your drawing canvas. Now, if you want to resize, you should do that before you start, because Piskel app automatically opens in a 32 by 32 pixel setting, which is a very pixelated drawing. I'm going to Control Z to erase that. I'm going to leave mine pixelated. If you are interested in changing or resizing, over on the right, there's this little toolbar going down the side. Click on Resize, and then change your width and height. The higher the number, so let's say I put in 200, the higher the number, the less pixelated your drawing. Okay, I'm going to Control Z back to normal, so I'm going to be back at 32. Okay, I'm going to go back to the instructions, and we're going to create the background first. So what you're going to do is on your toolbar, go to the bottom left corner, click on the color, and I chose a light blue. You don't have to. You can choose whatever color you want. And then I'm going to choose the rectangle tool. I'm going to just use my scroll on my mouse to zoom out a little, and I'm going to draw a big rectangle over my entire background. Okay, so notice I have a border, and if you go outside of the lines, that's okay as well. And then I'm going to click on the paint bucket, and I'm going to click inside, and that will color the background. Okay, over here on the right, go to your layer section. Notice this is named Layer 1. I want you to double click on the words Layer 1, backspace those away, and type the word background, and then hit enter. So this way your background has a name. Okay, I'm going to go back to my instructions, and we're going to create the puppy. So the first thing we want to do is you never want to have something that you're going to move on the same layer as other things. So we're going to create a new layer for our puppy. So I'm going to go back to Piskel app. Over in the layer section, I'm going to click this plus button that says create a layer. It's named Layer 1. I want you to double click on the words Layer 1, backspace them away, and type the word puppy and hit enter. And now we're going to just draw on our puppy layer. Okay? Make sure your puppy layer is above your background layer, because otherwise you won't be able to see your puppy as you're drawing it. And then step 3, I said from the bottom left toolbar, choose a base color for the puppy. I chose the one with number A47439. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just take my mouse and I'm going to right click and copy this. I'm going to go back to Piskel app. I'm going to click on my color here, and notice at the bottom underneath the color there's a number. I'm going to Control V to paste, or right click paste, and then that's going to be my color. You do not have to use the same color as me, so if you want your puppy to be a different color, feel free, but that is the color I used, okay? And then I'm going to go to my rectangle tool, because I'm going to draw the head, so I'm going to just start the head with a rectangle, and I'm going to put it over here kind of to the left. So I don't know, I'm just going to draw a rectangle, and then I'll use, let me do, whoops, shoot, I deleted the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go like 6 by 6, use my paint bucket, I'm going to color it in. Okay, now we're going to start just drawing some other parts. So I'm going to actually change my color back to black. I'm going to use my pen tool. I'm going to put like an eye right here, maybe an eye right here. I'm going to put like a mouth maybe here. I'm sorry, the nose, that's not a mouth. I'm going to change my color to pink. I'm going to do like a little tongue. I'm going to go back to my brown color, and I'm just going to take my little circle and lighten it a little bit. And I do definitely want you to do some highlights. Is that what I'm going to call them? Highlights. So maybe, oops, Control Z. Maybe I'm going to put a highlight here. I'm going to put a highlight here. Maybe I'm going to go like this. Okay, something like that. I'm going to draw some ears, so I'm going to make this kind of a darker brown for the ears, and then I'm just going to, I don't know, oops, we don't want to go into the face. Maybe do something like this. I don't know, maybe, you know, kind of an ear on that side, and then maybe do the same thing over here. Oh, I went way to the end here. Okay, something like that. You know what? I'm gonna move. Don't watch this step unless you have the same situation as me where you're touching the edge. I'm gonna actually move this. So I just used the hand, I don't know if you noticed, I used the move tool and I just moved it over a little bit. I didn't want to get so close to the end because what I want to do, and again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I'm using black and I still have the move tool selected. I'm going to go back to my pen tool and I'm just going to put like an outline around this a little bit. So I guess I should probably do that too. Just to give it a little bit, I kind of like the dimension of the outline. So if you want to outline yours, go ahead. And then I'm just going to continue to draw the dog. So I'm going to go back to my original color and I don't know, maybe just kind of go down a little bit here. Let's fill this in. And then I am going to shade it in a little bit as well. So maybe we have a little leg, maybe, oops, Control Z. And then when you are doing the tail, make sure that the tail is not touching any part of the actual dog itself because we are going to be moving the tail in a little bit. That's a big tail, but that's okay. All right, and then I'm going to go back to black and I'm going to do some tracing and we'll see how this comes out. And the nice thing about doing pixels is you can kind of just click. You can click and draw. Alright, so let's do some tracing. Okay, and then I'm going to do some highlights. So you can do some darker colors, you can do some lighter colors, so you can go back to that light color and you can add some highlights in. Whoops, not on the black. So add some highlights in. You can go to your original color and then pull the color down to make the shade darker and then do some darker shades. You know, just to create some depth or dimension. So I'm going to allow you to figure out how you want to do it, but that's kind of how I want the dog to be. I do not like, I'm going to erase, I don't like some of this. I actually don't like any of that. I'm going to do that. I wish I would have, okay. I don't know. That's good enough. But you know what? Maybe I'll put the black back on under their feet. Whoops. Would help if I had my pen tool selected. Okay, good enough. Good enough. There's my puppy. Okay, so it says choose a color, use the pen, draw the ears, lighter shades, make sure the tail is not touching the other parts. Okay, so I basically drew the puppy. Oh, my other puppy's cuter, but that's okay. To move the tail to its own layer. Okay, this is a big one. We're going to use either the rectangle or lasso selection tool on the puppy's tail, and we're going to copy and paste. So either the rectangle, if you can just do a nice rectangle around the tail, or if not, you're going to have to use the lasso and kind of like lasso around what your selection is going to be. But I'm going to use the rectangle for mine, and I'm just going to hold this down, and I'm just going to select the tail. Okay, so just that blue part is selected. I'm going to do Control-C on my keyboard to copy, Control-C. Now, we want to put the tail on its own layer. Anytime you want to move something, it should be on its own layer. So go to the layer section on the right, click the plus symbol. You have a new layer called Layer 1. I want you to double click on it, backspace, and type the word tail, and then hit enter. Make sure that tail letter is selected. The tail layer is selected. Do control, and notice this blue is still here on your drawing canvas. Control V will paste. You're not done yet. After you Control V, hit your enter key, and now you can see your tail is actually on this new layer. It's the tail layer, okay? So I'm going to go back. We just did this step to move the tail to its own layer, okay? I'm going to scroll down. To create animation, we are going to wag the tail. Float your mouse over frame 1 and click duplicate this frame button. Continue duplicating until you have 6 frames. Okay, so over here, frame 1, if you float your mouse, these little pieces of paper in the bottom right say duplicate this frame. You're going to keep hitting duplicate until you have 6 frames. Okay, so notice I have 6. I'm going to go back. We are on step 3. Turn on your onion skin below the stage so you can see the placement of the tail on previous frames. That's this onion skin right here, and what that does is as you are moving something, it shows you an outline of the location of where it was located on the frame before, so that you know how much you are moving something. So you want this to be yellow over here, okay? Make sure your tail layer is selected. Use the move tool on the toolbar and move the tail to the right. Okay, so we should be back on frame 1. Okay, make sure your tail layer is selected, frame 1. Let me see, do I want frame 1 to be moving? Frame 1, So we're doing every other frame. I think my instructions are bad. I'm gonna fix that. We're gonna leave frame 1 the way it is. I want you to click on frame 2. Go to the move tool over here on your toolbar, which is the hand. Put it over the tail. Again, make sure your tail layer is selected. Drag the tail to the right a little bit. We're going to leave frame 3 the way it is. Go to frame 4. Drag your tail over. And you see how you can see like the outline of where your tail was on the previous slide, or frame, I should say. And then go to frame 6 and drag your tail over to the right. So every other one has it moved to the right. I'm going to go ahead. If your preview is super small, just click on this one and go to full, and now you can see the tail is moving. Okay, so that's what we just did to wag the tail. Okay, all right. Blah blah blah. To blink the eyes, select the puppy layer. We're going to go to frame 3. We're going to choose the color picker, and we're going to match the original color of our puppy, and then we're going to use the pen tool to color in the eyes on frames 3 and 6. So go to frame 3. Select your puppy layer. Make sure your puppy layer is selected. Go to your color picker, which is here at the bottom of your toolbar, the bottom left. Click on one of the original colors of your puppy. That's going to select the color so you don't have to go find it again. Now use your pen tool and just over each of the eyes, go ahead and color it the same color as your original color, and then go to frame 6 and color the eyes again just by clicking on them with the pen tool. And what that does is, let me make this bigger so you can see it. It looks like the dog is blinking, or the puppy. We're going to call it the puppy, okay? That's what we're going to do next. Oh, we're going to add our flower. Okay, we're going to go back to frame 1. We're going to add a new layer called flower, and then we're going to choose green for the stem and draw our stem. Okay, so go back to frame 1. Go to your layer section, hit the plus button. Instead of layer 1, double-click the words layer 1 and backspace them away and type the word flower and hit enter. Come to your color selection in the bottom left and choose some type of green color. We're going to draw a stem of a flower. And then with your pen tool selected, or you can use the line tool if you want. I'm going to use the pen tool. Go ahead and draw a stem. Okay. Then I want you to change your color to red, or whatever color you want your flower to be. I'm going to make mine red. And this time I want you to use the circle tool on your toolbar. The circle tool. And draw a little circle. See how it's just kind of, it's very pixelated, so it's going to look a little strange, but that's okay. Use your color bucket, color it in. Okay, so now you have a flower. Okay, let's see. Okay, we did all of that. To animate the flower, we're going to select the flower layer, select frame 1. We're going to clone it onto all of our different, we're going to make sure that this flower appears on every frame. We don't have to redraw it on every frame. We don't even have to copy and paste it. What you can do is, if there is a layer that you want to appear on every frame, you come over here and you use this sheep tool, which is called the clone tool. Notice the pop-up says clone current layer to all frames. You click on it and it puts the flower on every single frame. Okay, we're going to leave frames 1, 2, and 3 alone with the flower standing up. Can you go ahead and select frame 4? We're going to erase the flower and we're going to redraw it so it looks like it's wilting. Okay, so click on your eraser tool and go ahead and erase just the red part, or whatever color you chose your flower to be, and maybe just the very top of your stem. And again, we're on frame 4. I want you to click and go back to your green stem color, have it go out to this, whoops, I still have the eraser tool chosen. I got to go back to the pen tool, draw a stem that kind of goes out to the side a little bit, and then go back to your red circle, draw a flower that's kind of wilted, and then color it in. Okay, we need this flower, same flower on frames 5 and 6, so I'm going to go to frame 5. I'm going to use my eraser tool. I'm going to erase the entire thing. I'm going to go to frame 6. I'm going to use the eraser tool. I'm going to erase the entire thing. Okay, now I could redraw the wilted flower, and that's perfectly fine. Or I can go back to frame 4, use my rectangle selection tool here, I'm going to draw a rectangle over the flower. Make sure you're on your flower layer. I'm going to do Control C. I'm going to go to frame 5. I'm going to do Control V, enter. Make sure you enter. That's what places it. I'm going to go to frame 6. I'm going to Control V, enter. And notice now we have the standing up flower on frames 1, 2, 3, the wilted flower on frames 4, 5, 6, and you have pretty much finished this activity. One thing I want you to do before you save and turn it in is watch your animation. See if the speed is okay. You might have to adjust underneath your stage here how many frames per second. Do you want your animation to go faster? Okay, notice how fast it's going. Do you want your animation to go slower? Okay, so you get to determine what you want your frames per second to be, okay? When you are happy with it, the first thing you always want to do is save. This program does not automatically save. You should always save before you turn it in. So, on this toolbar on the right here, the third button down says Save. Click on it. Your title should be called Challenge 1 or Puppy or whatever it is you want to call it. And then you're going to save it as a Piskel. Okay, this is not what you are turning in. This is just if you need to reopen this at some point or make corrections, you want to have it saved as a Piskel. It's not how you turn it in. Okay, after it's saved, it'll go into your downloads up there. Then you go to the next button down which says Export. Okay, you're going to click on that. This scale is probably going to be somewhere around 32 by 32. Please do not leave your resolution as 32 by 32. I want you to increase your scale so your resolution is somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500. If you leave it at 32 by 32, it will literally be the size of a nickel when you turn it in, and I won't be able to see it. So, and don't go too big. Don't go like 10,000 because then the program will freeze. So somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 for your resolution is perfect. Make sure GIF is selected. You're going to download this as a GIF. The GIF is going to go into your downloads folder. Then you can go back to Canvas, and I will just go ahead and show you what you will do. So let me just change to student view. Oh, sorry, it's not posted. I can't do it. But what you'll do then is just upload the GIF, and you guys know how to do that. So you'll upload the GIF into Canvas and submit, and hopefully everything went well for you. Let me know if you have any questions.